Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bowling University studio from the International Bowling Campus here in Arlington, Texas. I'm Bart Berger, and I'll be your host for this edition of the Bowling University Profit Break. Thank you for joining us. Our mission here at the university is to enrich people's lives personally and professionally, and the Profit Break is an opportunity for sharing insights on how to grow revenue, reduce costs, enrich yourself, your team, and your business. If you're joining the Profit Break for the first time, welcome. We are glad you're here. Give us 15 minutes, and you're going to be well on your way to improving your profitability. Now, today we are joined by Michael Alberico from the firm of Eckert and Siemens. I don't know why these attorneys have such complicated, fancy names, but they all do. Now, Michael is a practicing attorney in the great state of New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and his practice focuses on litigation, including commercial disputes and product liability and construction claims. He also counsels businesses and clients regarding waivers and risk management. Now, he's a member of the International Amusement and Leisure Defense Association and has worked with the Roller Skating Association. In fact, Michael is the real-life bowling alley lawyer and has a bit of history with bowling, which we're going to learn about in just a minute. Michael, welcome. Thank you for taking some time. I know you're busy with the firm there. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to impart some bowling alley legal knowledge onto you.
Excellent. Well, hey, let's start with the big stuff first. Are you really the original bowling alley attorney?
So I like to joke that I might be the only attorney in the United States who used to be a bowling alley manager, who then transitioned into the legal field. I like to think I'm the only one, but maybe somebody out there listening to this could tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, I love the fact that in all seriousness, it means a lot that you understand our business, and you've walked in our shoes, and you not only have the discipline of the legal function, but the ability to understand what many of the viewers and those that work in the industry are faced with. So let's jump in. We're excited to have you with us in Vegas in June, but we want to share a little bit with our audience today. And look, let's start off with kind of the elephant in the room, and that is that attorneys. I put in kind of like similar to doctors and dentists. They're wonderful people. They are highly trained, but they're not people that you wake up wanting to see, right? So, we often think of them as unnecessary, unwanted, and in some cases, quite candidly, a little unnerving, speaking with an attorney. So let's start with that. What are your comments on this subject?
Sure. I agree with those sentiments now. But all kidding aside, a lawyer's expertise is different than a business person's. So, for example, a lawyer walks into a bowling alley and he thinks, where can I protect the business owner? And the business owner walks into the bowling alley and thinks, where can I make a profit? So these are actually one and the same, but just taken from a different approach and a different angle. One is a way to save money. That's what the lawyer's trying to do. And the other is a way to make money, which is the business owner. So, yes, while lawyers can be scary, maybe not the person you want to talk to, because sometimes you're talking to them when there's a problem. They are there to help you, and they can help you, and hopefully at the end of this conversation, you'll realize how helpful they can be.
Good. Well, first of all, thank you for kind of demystifying that a little bit and putting us at ease there. And again, I reiterate, I love the fact that you've been in our shoes and understand our business. So let's get into some specifics, Michael. How can you help? How can somebody with your discipline, the work that you've done, how does that translate to us in the bowling space?
Yeah. So it's multifaceted. But specifically in what I'll be talking about a lot more at the convention, I like to focus on risk management. And you had mentioned, Bart, that I have walked in the bowling facility and alley management shoes. So I know what the owner of one of these facilities experiences. And then I've walked in the shoes of a lawyer. So I know how these bowling facilities are liable for potential injuries that occur in the facility, or I know where there's areas that the facilities could either save money or even make money by doing certain things. So specifically as to risk management, which I like to focus on, There's multiple ways that the alleys can implement certain things in order to reduce costs, whether it be premiums or just suits in general, which could result in some out-of-pocket expenses. My specific, or one of my favorites, is waivers. It's a great way to insulate against liability claims. You have your patrons come in the door. I know this scares some people away, but now that there's digital waivers, this is an even easier way to do it. Come in the door, they sign a waiver saying, hey, if I get hurt at your facility, I'm not going to sue you. I know certain states require specific language in their waivers, and that's where lawyers come in, right? I can come in and say, if you're drafting a waiver in New Jersey, I know the key language you need in order to make that waiver enforceable. Now, I caution that waivers are not a panacea, and you can still be sued when you have a waiver, and heck, some states don't even allow them. But they're a good deterrent, and they're a good place to start. There's multiple other avenues of risk management. I'll just touch on them quickly. I think surveillance is key. I'm sure that almost all facilities are running surveillance, and if they're not, they should. The question becomes where to put the cameras and how long to retain the surveillance. Again, that's something an attorney knows specifically, especially when it comes to your state, how long you should retain this footage and what footage you should be capturing. Then I like to talk about training. Training is a huge deal, and I know the people watching this are screaming, I invest a lot of money in training, and from my own business experience, I lose my employees all the time. It's either they're seasonal, or they're younger and they're moving on to college, or heck, I just can't keep good employees because I have to terminate them. That is a problem, but I want to instill the idea that training of these employees is a must. And while it may seem like a headache over the long term because there's so much turnover, don't give up. Don't give up the fight. And then as to the bowling specific industry, again, walking in the bowling alley manager shoes, I will let everyone in on the secrets of signage, types of oiling, and the distances for oiling on the dreaded foul line, carpeting, lighting, and those things. And I'll go into much more detail in Vegas on those topics. But again, those areas, those 4 areas are specific to risk management in the bowling facility. And I implore everyone to think about them, to think about a plan of action in order to utilize them, and think about how an attorney, even though albeit scary, could help you in implementing those risk management strategies.
Now, that's some good tips, Michael. And just the fact that an attorney knows what a foul line is, you're okay in my book. You know, to even recognize the foul line. We don't have to have that discussion of understanding, because sometimes, seriously, you're trying to educate the legal minds that have all the incredible legal knowledge and educate them on our business. So you shared a couple of tools there, all that I know you're going to take a deeper dive in Vegas. But is there one tool, for those that are listening today, is there one tool that you would recommend over the others, if there was one takeaway today?
You know, you hit it. They're all really good tools, but I'm a big proponent of waivers because they're a little bit of a catch-all, right? Someone accidentally oiled over the foul line, right? Or there's some oil on the approach. Another term of art in the bowling industry. Well, the waiver in theory could protect you against those claims where someone slips and falls. Even though you did have the training, even though you do have the surveillance in place. So I'm a big fan of waivers, and if your state allows them, I highly recommend using them.
Yeah, and I know that some of these topics are hard to do in a short time frame. Shoot, some of them are going to be hard for you to do in 90 minutes because they're just so much of a complex and things that go into this. But talk for a second about insurance. I mean, some of these things you mentioned, my first thought is, well, isn't that what insurance for? What role does that play, and how does that fit in together with what you're talking about?
Sure, definitely. I'm sure some of the people watching this have been sued, right? Or there's been a claim against them. Someone has come and knocked on the door and said, hey, I got hurt in your facility. What are you going to do about it? So that's when your insurance comes in. You contact your insurance broker or carrier and say, hey, this person fell on the lane. They stepped over the foul line despite the warnings, and they slipped and fell. Well, your insurance will come in and assign an attorney, could be me, somebody else local, to come in and defend your suit. Now, again, insurance is helpful in that area, but the goal for risk management is to prevent the claim from actually happening. So, albeit insurance is important, risk management is even more important in trying to never even have to use your insurance, because you're trying to prevent these claims from ever happening in the first place by having better signage, by having better oiling programs, and by having some airtight waivers.
Yeah, that's good, because you're focusing on the prevention, so you don't even need to think about executing the insurance part of it. In doing that. Yeah. So I know that you're licensed in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and some of these things are state specific, but what about other states? How does that kind of wrap together? Because it's not federal.
Sure. So that's a great point. As you had mentioned in my introduction, I'm a member of IALDA. I know that's a mouthful. It's the International Amusement and Leisure Defense Association. I want to say we have attorneys in all 50 states. If not all 50, we have it come close. So with that network, you can tap into an attorney with the same skill set as me, who can help you with any sort of risk management questions you have. In addition, my firm itself, we're also in 10 states. So whether you're going to deal with me or not, I can direct you to somebody else within my own firm that can help you across 10 to 11, actually 10 states, with the 11th being the District of Columbia. So if you have a question about anything, ask me. I can direct you either to somebody in my firm, myself, or one of my IALDA cohorts. Good.
So I think about going to the doctor when I'm not feeling well. I think about going to an attorney when something's wrong. Should we be looking at attorneys and lawyers through the eyes of proactive? You know, how can we use your service or services like that proactively versus reactively?
Sure. Again, that's a great term, Barb, proactive. You implement risk management, you're being proactive. You're not reactive. So you're not now scrambling to defend the claim. You're out in front of any sort of potential claim by having a robust risk management guidelines. And there's also the ability to be proactive outside of risk management, right? You could be proactive in your business development or business growth, or proactive in your real estate transactions and things like that. So again, while you don't necessarily want to interact with attorneys or doctors, sometimes you can go to an attorney when you don't actually have a problem, and you can say, hey, I have this great idea. I want to buy this land. I want to set up a licensing agreement. I want to merge with this other company. And we can help you there as well in order to make money rather than try and save money.
Good, like that. So, hey, Michael, as we're wrapping up our time today, I know you're going to be with us in Vegas. Can you leave us today with a little bit about what can we expect as we join you and learn more about this topic of risk management?
Sure. So see me in Vegas. I can't wait to go. Before we even came on camera, I was explaining to Bart how excited I am, trying to put COVID behind us and get out there and, let my hair down a little bit. But at Vegas, I'm going to go into much more detail about risk management. I'm going to go down into the ins and outs of waivers themselves. I'm going to go into the ins and outs of the program specific to bowling alleys, oiling, signage, lighting, and I'm going to give you a few of my war stories that I've had in litigating some of these claims. So this 10 minutes is nice, and I hope everyone enjoyed it, but there's a lot more that can be said. So I hope you join me out there.
Well, Michael, thank you for being with us. We are looking forward to having you as our guest, not only to share with us all your knowledge on risk management, but also a chance for you to get reconnected with our industry and see all the great things that happen at Bowl Expo. So thanks for being with us today.
I can't wait.
Awesome. Well, hey, folks, remember, if you'd like to learn even more about risk management, and Michael, he's going to be one of our featured speakers at Bowl Expo in Las Vegas in June. Michael's 90-minute learning lab, What Happens If Risk Management is Neglected, is going to be taking place on Tuesday, June 28th at 8:30 a.m. Set your alarms. You are not going to want to miss it. So as we wrap up another edition of the Bowl University Profit Break, remember, when your focus is on growing people, people will grow your business. We look forward to seeing you next time for another great episode. If you have any questions about today's show or like additional information, you can reach us anytime at education@bpaa.com. Also, you and your team can watch any of our previous episodes 24/7 by visiting bowlinuniversity.net. The Profit Break is now available when you want it, and we have new episodes premiering every month. Until then, I'm Bart Berger, and remember, do for one what you wish you could do for everyone. We'll see you next time.